up, Meister Village, your boy Buckmeister, twice the nice that you were used to, Shablemson, and today we are talking the Book of Boba Fett, episode 1 and 2. So hi, if you're new here, my name is Bugmeister Cool from Meister Geek Media. I talk all sorts of geek media, from the comic books, to superheroes, to animes, to sci-fis, and all of that good stuff. So, if any of that sounds good to you, please feel free to tickle that subscribe button and that bell button so you never miss a video. Also, I just want to say a quick Happy New Year. Sorry I didn't get to address any of you or make a video. I've been working on some stuff. I've been working on my comic book. But yeah, that's just besides it. But I do want to say Happy New Year. So, let's talk some Boba Fett. I think the thing is that a lot of people, like, there's some people who are complaining, there's some people who aren't complaining about this and whatever. I thought it was a dope first episode. Yeah, a dope first 2 episodes. I think they were pretty decent. I do think, however, that one of the weaknesses of this episodes, I think, is that you kind of either you have to really be a fan of the lore and know this character of Boba Fett. You really need to know him. No, I think that's just the pitfall. Like, if we're comparing this to the Mandalorian, which I did watch both seasons or whatever. If we're comparing it to the Mandalorian was completely new. Like, as much as he comes from established lore, it was a totally new character going on a totally new adventure. Whereas this character's got a lot of backstory to him. We get flashbacks to the prequels. There's a lot going on with Boba Fett, tied into a lot of things. So it's a very, very narrow walkway that people are gonna have to navigate when it comes to this character. That being said, though, let's this episode, like these first 2 episodes, I liked what they were trying to establish with Boba Fett's character. I know people are finding it a little bit weird, but to be honest, not much is known about Boba Fett in the first place. There's not much that's known about him in terms of, what type of guy he is really. Like, we basically see him. He's got a cool design in the original trilogy, and then he falls into the Sarlacc pit. Like, that's all people remember Boba Fett for, really, unless you read all of the ancillary materials. But even those materials are contradictory. In one story, Boba Fett is this ruthless bounty hunter. In another story, he's got all this respect things going on. I mean, respect has been a big thing with the Boba Fett character. I mean, there's one story where apparently he finds out his dad there was another clone or whatever, and he helps the clone guy get away from some guys because, I don't know, I forgot. I read it a long time ago. But the point is that Boba Fett has been a character who's based around respect. And coming into this series, I think a lot of people who are criticizing these first 2 episodes wanted to see a more ruthless Boba Fett. They wanted to see a Boba Fett from, like, The Mandalorian, where what he does to those stormtroopers, and what he does to that guy at the end who took over after Jabba the Hutt died. Basically, they wanted to see more of that, and I think you get glimpses of it in these first 2 episodes. I think you get hints towards it. I think he's going to go down that route eventually, but I think for now, they're kind of playing it safe because he's the lead in a Disney show. But also, I think I understand where the character is coming from. Because everything I've read about Jabba screams that he is the worst, that he was the worst. Except I don't understand why people were afraid of Jabba the Hutt. I'm sorry. Have you seen the Hutts? Have you seen that race? What could they possibly do? I'm more infinitely scared of a dude who's got a rocket launcher and a jetpack than a giant tub of lard. It's Barney without legs. It's a giant blob. Like, what? If I'm running away, like, if Jabba were to chase me, I'm getting away. There's no way. There's no way. No wonder Leia was able to kill him. Because Jabba can't even reach to scratch his own back. Like, come on. Come on. But I can understand if people are like, yo, Boba Fett is too nice in these episodes. He's too nice. Like, that's not the Boba Fett I know. But let's be real. The Boba Fett that we know, we don't really know. The Boba Fett that we know is in the Sarlacc pit. So we don't know what this guy is. So I think that's what this series is going to explore. And I do think that it was doing a good job. I think one of the problems is, though, is that they do not establish either one of two things is happening. Like Boba Fett is either kind of sick, maybe he's got Sarlacc pit disease or something, or something is going on with him. But like they don't establish him as a giant badass yet. Like they don't like they have those moments in the Mandalorian where the Mandalorian it's still scrappy, it's still unrefined, but basically he does something where it's like, okay, this dude clearly he's not the best, but he knows what he's doing. I don't think they had a moment like that with Boba Fett in these two episodes. No, I lie. In episode 2, there is a moment they have with him where he does some really really badass stuff, but I don't think they had enough of it. And for what they're going with this layer of storytelling, the direction of storytelling that they're going in with this particular character, they need to beef him up. I'm hoping that they do that in the following episodes. Like he needs to have a moment where he is just beast mode, and it's like 6 dudes, and well, okay, I mean, like 6 other highly trained professionals, and he is just clearing them. Like these guys are great at what they do, but Boba Fett is better than them. They need to have that in this series, especially for the direction of storytelling that they want to go, and they haven't had that yet. Some people argue that they have, but it's not the same. Again, I'm in the middle of I liked this, but I didn't love it, but I didn't hate it. So I can see the problem, but I can also see what they're going for in this particular series. Fennec is back. So if you remember Fennec from The Mandalorian, she's back and she's really cool. They got a nice dynamic. I like the dynamic between the two of them and whatever. She's basically the audience character who's going, Boba Fett, what the hell are you doing, sir? Like, we need to get this going. Like, we need to be showing these people we's ruthless. What are you doing? Her action scenes are awesome, and Ming Na Wen, what can you say? Ming Na Wen. I always love me some Ming Na Wen. Action is sparse. Like there's not a lot of non-stop action like that. But the action is sparse. But it's not. It's good though. The action that they do have is pretty good. There's some train stuff that's really good, and there's an acid trip randomly for no reason or whatever. But I do think that the action in this, while sparse, is good. But that acid trip, it really comes out of nowhere. I was so confused as to why it was happening. I'm like, what is going on here? Like, I guess it's presented as a rite of passage, but I was still confused as to why it was happening. There's also a lot of tada in these episodes. There's a lot of Boba Fett presenting things to people. To look here and look at this, and I present this, and it's just like, okay, I don't know why, but okay. But all in all, not a bad first 2 episodes. You know what I'm saying? As a person who knows of Boba Fett and is not a big fan of Boba Fett, I thought this was a good entry. I did think that there was some of it that was underwhelming, but I do think that there is potential for it to go really, 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 really well. Like, I think they can really do some really cool stuff with this particular character. Again, this is not the Mandalorian. They don't need to do Mandalorian things. He's also not a Mandalorian himself, so if there's people talking about why does he take off the mask, which I get, but is Boba Fett, he's not, and that's also, remember, that's also a cult. Like they don't do that. They don't, Mandalorians don't necessarily adhere to that thing of they can never take off their mask. So maybe in Mandalorian season 3 we're gonna get a lot of Pedro Pascal. But anyway, point being is that this is a different show. It's a different approach. They're going for more a mafia approach in Star Wars, which is interesting, and I'm willing to see where that goes. And I do think that this character is strong enough that they can follow through with it, but they are going to have to get to a point where they make him very scary, and I'm hoping for that soon. So, what do you think, Meister Bill? Let me know in the comment section down below. Are you watching the Book of Boba Fett? Are you a long-time Star Wars fan? Talketh to your boy. I'm interested to hear what you are thinking. And if you are at this point in the video, I want to say thank you so much for getting to this point in the video. You are spectacular. Now, if you really like this video, I got another one up here. I got a playlist family. I got an icon you can click on to subscribe. Remember to ring the bell if you do subscribe, and I see you all in another video because my semantic got to be out. Peace.